Good afternoon, welcome back to the 120th. Today I'm going to play with a Fuji GW690 III, and I'm going to play with it in Alaska. So here we are, I'm in Alaska. I'm out here for work, as I was in Costa Rica, but I didn't manage to do a video in Costa Rica. This time I'm going to try a little bit harder. I'm going to get at least one video from Alaska. I will try for two. First one, we are just going to go out and we're going to do a run on this. A new camera for me, the Fuji GW690 III. Here it is. Look at that. Look at that bad boy. It is enormous. It's massive. Looks like a 35mm SLR on steroids. But obviously very different from a 35mm SLR in that it is not an SLR, it is a rangefinder, which means that you look through this eyepiece here and you see out through here. You cannot see what is actually being seen through the lens. You look through this viewfinder, that gives you your framing, allows you to compose. It's a linked rangefinder, which means the way you focus this is you look through the viewfinder, there is a spot in the middle of the viewfinder, and as you turn the focus ring, that spot will move left and right, and once you've lined up the two images, that's in focus. It shoots 120 film, 8 6x9 frames, so lovely big negatives. It's a fixed lens camera, which means that you can't take this lens off, you can't change it, it's not an interchangeable lens camera. So the GW690 comes with a 90mm f3.5 Fujinon lens, which is supposed to be very good. There are a few other cameras in this range. There's a GW690, which is basically the same camera but shoots 6x7 frames. There is a GSW690, which is a super wide version, which I think has a 60mm lens or a 65mm lens. I'm not sure, I'll check that for you. So much wider. This 90mm lens on here with a 6x9 frame gives you an equivalent 35mm focal length of something like 38mm, 39mm. A bit wider than the kind of 50mm equivalent. And regular viewers to the channel will know that I hate 50mm as a focal length on 35mm. It drives me nuts. I find it just is always the wrong focal length for what I want to shoot. Controls wise, so you pull up the built-in lens hood and that reveals your controls here. Shutter speed along the top in white, aperture along the bottom in yellow, and this is of course your focus. There is nothing electronic in this camera. It is fully mechanical, which is amazing. It means it doesn't need batteries. It doesn't have any batteries that you can't get anymore, or the kind of mercury cell equivalents. It has no light meter, so you will have to carry a light meter with you, but I quite like that. It is a leaf shutter, which means the shutter is in the lens, and that of course means two things. Number one, it means of course that you can sync flash up to the maximum shutter speed if that's what you want to do. It also means of course that it makes a really shit noise. Ready? Yeah. Boring. It's slightly meatier than a TLR, but not much. But that's okay. I like that it's mechanical. I like that I'm going to have to use a light meter. I'm looking forward to shooting this. I really am. It's very exciting. I will hit downtown Anchorage at some point while I'm here, but I think today I'm going to head up into the mountains and go for a snowy walk whilst there is still snow on the ground, because it's all starting to melt. So let's go and take some photos in some snow. Okay, so I've literally driven 25 minutes out of Anchorage, parked the car, paid my fee, and walked 5 minutes, and I'm here. You see the mountains rising in the distance over there. Okay, I'm definitely going to be guilty today of newbie excitement. These are all, I could literally just take a picture here. Just beautiful, all of it is stunning. I'll focus down the path back that way. Yeah, sure, why not? I've got a roll of FP4 loaded. I do have some colour with me, but we'll start with black and white. It's not the best shot, but we'll just get it done. So there's a 2-stroke wind on, stroke and a half stroke, 2, 1. Then we have a roll of of Ektar loaded. And I'm going to switch over to the Raveni Labs spot meter from here. And maybe I'll just get a shot here, just a landscapey shot. So ISO 100 f11. Let's up that a bit. Let's go 2260. Maybe we'll just get a big wide over here. If I had landscape shot, if I can get under the power lines. So I really don't want it in the shot. I think we'll probably get it here. 3, 2, 1. And wind. And wind. I am going to shoot more videos in Alaska, of course. And I don't know, maybe my enthusiasm will reduce. But for the minute, I am chock full of enthusiasm for this stuff. It's beautiful. I don't know how you could find it anything but beautiful. I'm just going to take a photo of this. Right then, so that's the first outing with the GW690. I'm happy with the results. I think the pictures are great. I think it is a good camera. It kind of reminds me a bit of the Mamiya C330 in the sense that it's a bit more modern than perhaps what I would normally use. And it's just good. But as with some other cameras that I've shot with where similar has been true, I feel like it lacks a little bit of character. Those big 6x9 negatives help. They are massive, you know, they're kind of this sort of size, and they give loads of detail. It's an amazing camera, for sure. I'm not sold on it yet. A lot of this depends on my mood and what's going on with other cameras in the stable currently. And right now, if you saw the 510 Pyro video, you'll have seen that some of those S2A shots came out a little bit out of focus because I think I'm having problems with the focus on my S2A again. So there is a part of me which is yearning for a camera that just works. Is it too much to ask? I don't think it is. I do like the fact that it's fully mechanical. I love that. It means that I can take a light meter with me and I have kind of full control over everything that's happening. Leaf shutter, not great for me because it doesn't give me that wonderful crashing piano dropping noise that I love. But you know, maybe it's time I need to go over that and just start focusing on cameras that work. One thing I did notice and discover is that using filters with this, I was kind of thinking about using a red filter while I was out and about with it in the mountains. And it's not very easy. So the lens is not interchangeable, and it has this built-in lens hood that comes with the camera, and you have to pull up the lens hood to access the controls, the aperture and the shutter speed, which are controlled here. There is a thread for a filter, but it's down here. So you have to slide this back, and then the filter thread is here on the inside ring of this lens, which as far as I can tell means that your options are, I guess you could use a push-on filter if you have that available to you, or alternatively you pull out the built-in lens hood, set your aperture and your shutter speed, then push in the lens hood, screw in the filter ring, put your filter on, do everything you need to do, take your photo, and then you've got to take it all off again to get the camera set up for your next shot, which seems clumsy to the extent that I didn't bother doing it. There's also, a filter ring is slightly recessed. It's actually overshadowed by this outer ring that holds the lens hood. Fuji brought this out in the 90s as a professional camera. It would appear that they didn't create any provision for using filters. So I might be missing something. If I'm missing something, then please drop me a message in the comments and tell me what I'm missing. But it doesn't seem very convenient for that. Anyway, long story short, impressed with my first outing. I'm not in love with it yet, but I'm in Alaska for a few more weeks, and it's just me and this girl. So we're going to go on a few more dates. We're going to see how we get on. That coming next. Hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss my next outing in Alaska. Is going to be this camera again, and this time we're going to head to downtown Anchorage, and I'm going to try and find some slightly grubbier scenes. I'm not great with pretty pictures. I like things to be a bit rougher and a bit readier. So I'm going to go looking for that kind of scene in Anchorage later this week. That's it for today. I'll see you next time in Anchorage with the GW690. Bye then.